your legs in what's called sukhasana. Cross your legs so that the middle of your shin bones are in contact. So it's the belly of the calf muscle on the front leg, the middle of the shin bone on the inside leg. Fists with your hands and press your fists into the heels of the feet here. As you press your fists into the heels, press with your heels into the fist. So it's a strong action here. And you'll start to notice it in the hips right away. As you press the hands, you'll start to notice the inner thigh muscles, and even I start to notice the outer hip muscles there. So you get this nice engagement. And inhale, rise up and just take your hands back behind you so that we can open the chest. So as you press your fingertips behind you, lift your chest up, have the shoulder blades hug in toward each other. Keep your legs crossed. Interlace your fingers. Reach your interlaced fingers forward as you take the chest back, as you just fold in. Inhale, lift yourself up. Just place your hands alongside your pelvis now. Drop your right ear toward your right shoulder to give yourself a neck stretch. Shift your eyes over toward the right. Let the eyes follow. Inhale, lift your head up. Drop your left ear toward your left shoulder. Give the right side of the neck a nice stretch. First, your eyes are looking forward. Turn your gaze toward your right. Just going to notice how when you move your eyes, it has a wonderful effect on opening the neck muscles more. Inhale, lift your head up. Cross your legs the opposite way. So lean back, cross your legs. And in the same way, have the center of the shin bone of the leg behind press into the belly of the calf muscle. And then make a fist with your hands. Press your fist into the heels and press the heels back into the fist. As you do that, just notice how the inner groins become activated as you bow forward. Just come into the fullness of the forward bend. Breathe in and breathe out. Invite this nice opening. Inhale, rise up. Press the fingertips down as you open your chest. Reach your chest up toward the sky. And slowly release back. Interlace your fingers. Reach your interlaced fingers way forward as you drop your head down. As you get this nice distance between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift up, drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Draw your gaze over toward your right. Stretch in, reach down with your left hand. Inhale, take your head up. Draw your left ear toward your left shoulder. Reach your gaze over to your left. Move your eyes. Reach your right hand down more. Inhale, lift up. So fold your knees together. Take your right heel pretty close to your pelvis. Take your left foot just to the outside of the knee. Now, for some of us, this totally doesn't work. So you can straighten your right leg and maybe it'll work just a little bit better for you. So as you come to whatever pose works for you, scoot your left foot just off to the side of the right hip. Again, your pose might look like this with a straight leg or two bent legs. Grab your strap, hopefully that's close by. Take your strap in your right hand, draw from the elbow back so you can take your left hand to the elbow, pull back to decrease that distance, lift the elbow up and take it over your head, swing your left hand behind you and find the strap. Squeeze the strap with the right hand. Squeeze and release and see if you can inch your fingers down toward your left hand a little bit. Now squeeze the strap with the right hand. See if you can inch your fingers down a little bit more. And one last time, squeeze the strap, inch your fingers toward each other. Slowly release your arms. Ah, feels so good to get out of that pose. Unravel your legs and come to the other side. Start with the foot to the outside of the knee, and if it feels like the knees can stack over each other, great. If not, on this side, just straighten the bottom leg. As we begin, take your left arm forward. With the right hand, take the elbow and just pull back so that you decrease the length there, the distance from the armpit to the elbow. Now it just got shorter. Take your elbow up. Oops, forgot to give myself the strap. So grab your strap and pull in, take the left arm against the head. Make a fist with the strap in your hand. So you squeeze the strap. As you release, walk your fingers more. Squeeze again. So this contraction allows more expansion as you walk the fingers down. And last time, squeeze the strap. Walk the fingers down toward each other. Release your strap. Interlace your fingers again. Reach your interlaced fingers forward. Drop your head down. Inhale, take your arms up. Bend your elbows. Hug your shoulder blades in. Release your hands down. Come to a standing position. In your standing position, take your arms in an elbow frame and hold on to the elbow frame. Rock the elbow frame. Just to open the shoulders nicely. Take your elbow frame to the middle of the body here. Rock side to side, just so that you're moving the upper body. You're not moving the hips with this. Now take the arms up over your head. You can grab hold of the wrist because the elbows might make the neck quite tight. And just go side to side here. And you start to notice the lower area of the trapezius working a little bit more. Just work side to side. Slowly release your hands. Let's come to the mat again. And as you take a stand on the mat, you may want to grab your blocks. Prepare. You can put one block to either side of the mat. With your hands to your hips, step nice and wide. Draw your elbows in toward each other to open the chest as we've been doing. Turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee. Keep your back leg strong. Sweep your arms up in Virabhadrasana number 2. So as you keep your back leg strong, just soften down. Release your hands and just place them to your low back. Just press the flesh of your low back. As you fan your fingers toward the earth, draw your elbows in to open your chest nicely. Keep your back leg strong. Draw your heart toward your inner knee. Just soften down. Release your right hand to your block that's right to the inside of the knee, of the ankle. Press now the forearm against your inner knee. Keep your left hand where it is. Open your chest nicely. Stay there if you wish, or take your arm up, reach over so they get this nice length in the pose. Keep your back leg so strong. Inhale, lift yourself out of the pose. Exhale, release your hands. Step your feet hip distance apart. And with your feet hip distance apart, just pause in Tadasana. Close your eyes. Invite your breath to be full and bright. Pause after the in-breath, after the out-breath. See if you can incorporate that pause. With your eyes bright, step wide once again on the mat. As you step wide on the mat, place your hands to your hip points, draw your left toes out, have your block ready because we'll be placing our hand on it shortly. As you bend your knee, keep your back leg strong. Sweep your arms up in Virabhadrasana number 2. Spread your fingers this way to get a nice tone in the upper arms. Place your hands to your low back. Fan your fingers as you reach toward the earth. Hug your elbows in. Draw your heart down toward the inner knee. To soften. So the strength of the back leg helps you soften even more toward the inner left knee. Place your left hand to the tall block. Work your inner knee against the forearm. Take the head of the right arm bone back. Stay there or extend your right arm up, your right arm over if you wish. Just find the variation that allows you to come into this fullness in your pose. Pull in from the front foot to the back so you feel this nice strength in the legs to give you even more extension from the pelvis to the crown of the head and out through the fingertips. Root down through the back foot to inhale. Come out of your pose. Exhale, release your hands. Step your feet hip distance apart. Pause here. I'm going to step off the mat just because when we balance, that extra padding that the mat gives sometimes takes us a little bit more out of balance. Just take your weight to your right foot, but keep your left big toe on the earth for now. Right leg is solid. Left big toe is just helping you stay very secure. Inhale, lift your arms up. Now see if you can take the left toe up and tap it down. Left toe up, tap it down. Left toe up, tap it down. Take the left toe up and plant the whole foot, release down. So the wings here, the arms reaching up, this gives you a little bit more steadiness and stability. So see how you can use that. Be solid on your left foot. Come to the tip toe of your big toe on your right foot. And just use that to keep you balanced. Have your toes on the left foot feel like they're just clawing the earth. As you draw from the toe tips in toward the heel, lift your arms out and lift the toe up and tap it down. Stay steady. Find that nice long in-breath, the pause, the out-breath, the pause. 2 more times. Lift your knee up, tap it down. 1 more time. Lift up and tap it down. Release your hands. Let's come to sit, and we'll sit in what's called Vajrasana. I've got all sorts of tips here for those of us with cranky knees or cranky ankles. And I've got these rolled towels, a rolled hand towel, a rolled bath towel, something to put behind my knees or sometimes the front part of the ankle gets a little cranky. So I'll show you from the side view what we'll be doing. As you press your knees together from hands and knees position, see about just taking something behind your knees. Now, some of you, no problem. You can do this without anything. I've got crankier knees, so I like something behind there. Draw your heels together. The heels want to go wide apart, so pull them in toward each other. See if you can keep them pulling in as you go back. You'll probably find that, oh, one thing doesn't work, so I'll try something else. I'll try a blanket. I'll try even blocks. Just see if you can find something that works so that you can sit comfortably with your heels still pulling in toward each other. So keep that. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Open your chest nicely. And slowly release your hands and come to all fours position. So just in case you overstretch something and you need a little break, reach your right leg out. Just tuck the right toes under and get a nice stretch there. Release your right knee down, take your left leg back, tuck your left toes under, and same thing. Stretch out through the back side of the leg. And take your left knee down. So let's come to the same pose again. The action, this squeezing the inner heels in toward each other. Have you noticed how your heels separate? Keeping that. And again, I had brought this little hand towel because sometimes people's front of the ankles don't feel so good. So just putting something there protects that. Find a way that you can sit back without the inner heels coming away from each other. It's quite a bit of work for most of us to get that engagement. Interlace your fingers and reach the interlaced fingers up. This time, have a bend to your elbows. As you bend your elbows, that allows the neck a little bit more freedom. Lift your thumbs a little bit higher. Draw over to the side. And just like we did earlier, first your gaze is forward, but now take your gaze toward the side that you're leaning towards. Now your gaze is to your left. Inhale, take your arms up. Shift the weight of your arms to one side to open up the left side ribs. Shift your gaze over to that side as well, to the right side as you get more length in the left side ribs. Inhale, rise up. Release your hands. Come to a kneeling posture. If kneeling without any protection doesn't feel so good for you, then put a blanket under your knees. Find your blocks again. Once you find your blocks, put them right by your ankles so that you can reach them. We'll get a nice thigh stretch here. So reach your hand back to the tall block, right hand back to the tall block. Take your left arm forward and plug it in, just like we were doing in that gomukhasana pose, where I said make that distance shorter by pulling in from the elbow to the armpit. Same thing with your arm extended out. Make the distance shorter by pulling in before reaching up and over so that you get this really nice length. Inhale, lift yourself out of the pose. Try the other side. Take your hand to the tall block, fingertip top position. Reach your right arm out, spread your right fingers. Pull in from the right fingers to the armpit. Reach your arm up. Reach your arm over your head. Invite the breath to be really full and bright. Release your hand down. Come to all fours position. And just as we did before, just stretch out the back side of the leg nicely. Reach your right leg straight back out. Get a nice length to the back side of the leg. We'll be using that back side of the leg to get a nice stretch very soon. Release, and other side, take the left leg back. Take the left knee down. Kind of made a mess with all my props, so I'll get those out of the way there. Let's sit first. A few more seated poses before we lie down. Reach your feet forward in this called Dandasana pose. It's the home base of all of our seated poses. As you sit with your feet forward, take your strap around your feet and go wide with your hands. Draw your heart forward as you soften down. Inch your fingers forward on your strap. Some of you can just hold on to your toes if that feels more comfortable for you. But reach your heart forward as you lift your elbows up slightly. Inhale, rise up. Keep your left leg that strong, that straight as you bend your right knee. Take your right foot over the outside of your left leg. Pull your heart in toward your thigh there. So draw your ribs forward and lift and open your heart to a twist here. Take the hand to the outside of the knee, twist nicely. In the twist, use the same instruction where we take our gaze in the optimal position of the twist after we get as much twisting of the thoracic spine as possible. Take your gaze toward your right shoulder and twist your cervical spine just a little bit more. Release out of the twist. Take your knee to that position we were in earlier so that the kneecaps are on top of each other. Take your strap around your extended leg. Hold on to the strap, widen your elbows, and draw your heart forward. Your top leg, the bent right leg, is actually very active. See how you can create that action even in this very static form. Press down through that outer, the baby toe side of the foot. So you can get this feeling that the inner thighs are kind of looking in toward each other. Inhale, lift yourself out of the pose. Be mindful of that action of the lifted leg. Makes quite a difference. So hug the left leg in. Take your foot to the outside of the leg. Let's come to the twist. So first to start with the hand to the outside of the knee, the left hand behind you. See, with its own power, not the right hand doing all the work. Press down through the base of the left big toe so that you can feel the action of the inner groin muscles. As you turn in the twist, you turn your right ribs to go into a deeper twist. Allow your eyes to be the final part of your twist. You're moving your eyes toward even more of a twist of the neck. Stay there. Remember the pause after the in-breath, the pause after the out-breath. Release yourself out of the twist. Stack the top knee over the straight leg. Take your strap around the base of the toes of the straight leg. Hold on to the strap, but lift yourself to sit tall. Go wide with your hands. Reach your heart forward. In the same way, how can you get the top leg to not just hang out, to sit on top of your straight leg, but be active? Press down, almost like a karate chop with the baby toe side of the foot. You're really pressing down. Bring your heart forward. Come just a little bit deeper in the form of your pose. Inhale to rise up. Come back to Dandasana. with your hands alongside your pelvis. Open your chest nicely. Let's recreate the same form of that pose that we just did on our back. Lie on your back, and as you lie on your back, have your feet straight up in the same way that we just did in our seated poses. As you lie on your back, take your strap around your feet, press your feet into the strap, lift your heels high. Now, you may not feel any lumbar curve here, but see if you can do something to create one. See if by moving your feet back, you feel like, oh, there's just a little space there between my low back and the floor. I have a little curve that I'm working on. So see if you can keep that. Start spreading your feet further away from each other. Of course, this all depends on how long your strap is, but take your feet nice and wide apart while still pressing into the strap. Hold on to the strap as you take your feet wide. Press into the base of the big toes, and see again, now that your feet are wide, if you can create that felt sense of a little lumbar curve. You're working toward it. Maybe it's still, you're feeling the lumbar or the low back flat on the mat, but see if you can work toward creating that. Keep pressing through the base of the big toe with your feet really wide apart. Take your feet together again. Stay in touch with the right foot. So keep the right foot on the strap. Reach your left leg, float it down toward the mat, but not on the mat. So once you've got the left foot slightly toward the mat, just see again if you can find that lumbar curve. Maybe there's just a little bit that you could do with a lifted right leg to create more strength in that lumbar curve. Keep on letting the left leg just kind of stay active in this kind of hovering position. Inhale, take your left foot up. Take the strap around the base of the left foot. Reach your left foot high. Free the right leg and let it float down toward the mat, but not on the mat. Keep a nice, strong action in the right leg. Keep your toes very active and spread. Find the curve on this side, the curve of the lumbar spine. Inhale, lift your foot up. So both feet are in the strap again, and go wide again. Take your feet wide apart in the strap. And again, if you have a really long strap, you'll be able to go really, really wide. But just keep holding onto the strap, press through the inner big toes. Draw your feet back slightly so that you get more lumbar curve. Work the heels high as you keep the toes spread. Come back with the legs straight up. Bend both knees. Take your strap to your side. So your feet are still looking toward the sky. Your choice. You can take your hands to the inner big toe area there. Just hold on to that. Or even just hold on to the backs of the thighs. So wherever you're at, hands to the inside, pressing into the big toe, base of the big toe, or hands to the back of the thighs. Slowly straighten your legs with a nice wide stance, similar to what we had with the strap, to get this nice opening. It's a little harder to get the lumbar curve with the hands here, but see if you can go toward that action. Even if you can't actually feel the low back lifting from the mat, see if you can find that action. So the legs are wide apart, feet are wide apart. You're pressing through the base of the big toe. Your hands are either at the inner thighs or the base of the big toes. And slowly release your feet to the mat, but release your feet pretty far away from each other. So they're the outer edges of the mat. Take your arms, nice T position with the palms facing up. Just draw your knees over toward the right side. Inhale, lift your knees up. Draw your knees to the left side. After the shoulder work and the hip work that we did, you should find nice both opening to the chest and yet a nice settling by the pelvis here. So settle your pelvis in and find that lumbar curve as you take your feet hip distance apart, the knees facing up. Just pause here. Place your hands right above your kneecaps with the palms right on the kneecaps. Press your kneecaps away from you. And now just notice what a nice curve you get, lumbar curve you get. Keep that. Release your hands from your legs. Straighten your legs. But keep that sense of a nice, strong, low back curve. As you release your arms to the mat, the backs of the hands feel very supported. Your legs feel supported. Breathe in through the nose. Pause. Breathe out through the nose. Pause. Breathe in through the nose. Pause. Breathe out through the nose. Pause. Breathe in through the nose. Pause. Breathe out through the nose. Pause. Breathe naturally. Breathe freely. Let your body feel like it's completely softening It has this feeling of surrendering to the earth. Slowly bend your knees. Let your feet just pause here. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Breathe in deep. Take your arms up over your head. Invite your breath to stretch through your side body. Draw over to the side and just pause there. Use the strength of your arms to support yourself as you rise up. Come to sit. Sit tall. Place your hands in front of your heart. Draw your breath in. To the teachings of yoga, we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much.